Hey, YouTubers. Well, man, oh man, Packers got a win against the Bears, tying up the all-time rivalry for the first time since 1933. We talk all about it. We give some love to all the heroes of this game, and there were a lot of them. With Aaron Rodgers not getting a touchdown through the air, this was a very interesting game, and as I argue, I think a very fitting way for the Packers-Bears rivalry to get tied up after all these years. I thought this was a fitting game. I thought this game reminded me of the black and blue division. This was some good football. Not that the Packers obviously played a perfect game, especially on defense, giving up too many points, but we're going to talk all about it. So jump on in. We have a lot of fun on Good Packer Nation Morning. Good Packer Nation morning, guys and dolls. My voice is still out from yesterday's game, but I just got one thing to ask real early on a Monday morning. Can I get a Go Pack Go? Packers with their hands on the wheel. The Lions go down. The Vikings go down. Packers had all they could do to defeat the Chicago Bears. This was an absolutely epic. I mean, I talked about epic Packers against the Seahawks. This was a different kind of epic, but this was an epic battle out there. Was anyone else reminded of the black and blue division by yesterday's game? I mean, holy smokes, knockdown, drag out. Gustavo is here. Dylan Tristan is here as well and says, Go Pack Go. Mike is here from Winnipeg, but I just want to hear a Go Pack Go. Put a heart up. Put a thumbs up. Whatever you got this morning on a Monday morning. I know you don't have a voice left if you're like me, but you got to Go Pack Go for me. Felton is here. Atreyu is back as well. Got to give props to Dustin on the Fire Fan leaderboard, who just about scored 600 points last night. Holy smokes. Stanley is in the house. Marcus is here. Tiffany is here. Mike, Steve as well. Oh, we got some Go Pack Goes out there. I picked the Packers to win 35-10 in this game. I thought the defense was going to continue its dominance. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Hector. Hi, Roger. Good to see you. Defense gave up, 17 points in the fourth quarter or whatever it was. But the Packers came through in the end. Sherry is here, Zach as well as Abby. Hero is here and Vicky. Packers are now one game behind the Lions. Anybody got a heart for that right now? I am extremely pleased. We talked about this. We said the Lions have a tough road to hoe. They could go down easily to the Giants. They could also go down to the Cowboys, and the Packers still have to play them. Well, the Lions went down to the Giants yesterday, and I think a lot of people out there are probably happy about that. I being one of them, me being one of them, however I should say it. This is, check out the hearts, guys. I mean, you guys know what Packer Nation is up to right now. You know what we're feeling right now. And I said that this Bears team was better than their record. Does anybody, I know a lot of people thought this was going to be a blowout. I really had it picked at 35-10. That is definitely a blowout. Little surprised that our defense gave up as many points as it did late, because our defense usually does a good job. In second half adjustments, I thought the defense was going to hold them to 10. I really did, because it was 10-10 at the half. James is here. Hey, man, how you doing? Joshua. Roger says, holy cow. I thought the defense was going to come back. I really thought the second half adjustments would do the trick, but you got to give some credit to these Chicago Bears. Again, I said they were a better team than their record. They had two. They did not go out there onto the field and play like a 3-win team. They played like a team that could play with anybody, exactly like they did. Anybody remember how much of a stretch it was for the Lions to beat the Bears last week? This is a team, their coaching staff on this team, John Fox and company, we got to give them some credit. But the fact of the matter is, we took them down. We took them down. Keegan is here. Peter is back. Dustin kicked some butt in Fire Fan last night. If you're not in the Fire Fan game, play for the ring. Jump in. It is definitely not too late. It's anybody's game. I think I'm in 8th now. But I am going to be in number 1 position as of this coming week. Guaranteed. That's my bold prediction for Monday. But we're having a lot of fun. It's called Fire Fan. Just use the code GETTHERING. Jump in, grab yourself some tokens. And it is the Packer Nation League with our logo on it. So, yeah, having a good day. Hey, my buddy Jared is here. Jared, I saw on Facebook you had a loss of a real good friend recently. So I want to give my condolences right now. And miss you, brother. Been a long time. Terry. And then Bryce is asking, are we doing just Packer games for the league? You need to check your alerts. If you are playing my Fire Fan League, it's called Fire Fan. Code is Get the Ring. League is Packer Nation, but it's our black and gold GPN logo is the one you got to do because there's 2 Packer Nation leagues. And you need to check your alerts because I am not going to announce all the games they're going to play. So folks like, I know Virginia was out there. She was topping the leaderboard. She was right up there for a while. I am going to sign up for the games. Those games will automatically alert you in the game. But there may be a Monday Night Football game. You never know. Hint, hint, wink, wink. There may be a Thursday Night Football game. I'm going to throw in as many games as I can because the Packers, you know, we're planning. Okay, here's something for all of you guys. Does anybody have a heart or a like for me? I think the Packers have a lot of games to play. I'm staring off into space right now because I'm thinking. I think the Packers have a lot of games to play in the 2016 season. It is not. It is far from over, folks. It is far from over. Packers with their hand on the wheel. Aaron Rodgers with a gutsy performance, but how about this? 0 touchdowns in this game. We did it on the ground. I know there are some hearts out there right now for one gentleman named Ty Montgomery who has absolutely, he is the talk of the league right now. Nobody can categorize this cat. He can do it all. And frankly, there's something indescribable about Ty Montgomery as a running back. He is different than any other running back. Sean is saying 4 down, 6 to go. A couple to go in the season. Got to take down the Vikings. Got to take down the Detroit Lions, which will not be an easy task at home. And Matt Stafford played pretty well. I think he had an errant pass or 2, but he played pretty well with the injured throwing hand. But Ty Montgomery, I mean, seriously, I was on Fire Fan. I was playing, and I think I put up you can chat, you can smack talk, but at some point, I just put up a post in the chat that I don't know what this guy is made of, but it's something different than everyone else. Ty Montgomery, let me give you his stats because, I mean, for crying out loud, 16 carries. Let's do some stats, all right? And you guys just heart me if you're happy with this because Andrew says the Lions will choke. They already did once, and we're going to watch it again against the Cowboys. Steve says, yeah, Ty Montgomery's stiff arm, but there is something more to this guy, the way he runs. All right, let's do some stats, and you guys just heart me up because it's a victory Monday, guys. My voice is completely gone. And Ty Montgomery had 16 carries for 162 yards and 2 touchdowns in this game. With a long of 61, guys. Seriously. The only part that I got wrong about the 3-headed monster yesterday was Aaron Ripkowski. He didn't really show up too much because everything else was clicking so well, I think. But the Packers had a 3-headed monster, I called it, and it is a different kind. It's not just a difference in degree, it's a difference in kind than anyone has seen before. And defensive coordinators who know they have to face the Packers are staying up late. They're not getting to sleep the way they want to. They're waking up in fits of hot sweats in the middle of the night. Because the Packers have a 3-headed monster. It's coming right at them. It's going straight down the middle of the NFC. It's going straight down the middle of the NFC North to start with, and then it's time to take the NFC. And frankly, if Aaron Rodgers can get healthy, this team playing again, we played in bad conditions. We're not going to be playing in bad conditions for long. If Aaron Rodgers can continue to get better, he said he didn't suffer any setbacks, but you could see he was limping. This team is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Aaron Rodgers, 19 of 31 for 252 yards. Who out there on my Fire Fan League had Aaron Rodgers with over 250 yards? I did. So I got me some points for that one. Sherry's proud of this team. Agreed, Sherry. I think they should be proud of themselves. Did we not right here on this show talk a long time ago when this team was absolutely riddled with injuries? And still is. This is still a team that is hurting. And we talked about how the story of the 2016 Packers could be right up there with any other story historically of any other Packer team if we can find a way to get it together. At the time, it was if the offense could stop stalling out. We still stalled a little bit. But Art is saying the big boys come out to play in December, and that is exactly what you're seeing out of this Packer team right now. Gary is calling for a sweep. I like it. Now, we talked about Barkley not being a bad quarterback. He was 30 of 43 for 362 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he also had 3 interceptions. This is one of the low points I thought of this game. I thought with the Packers getting 3 picks in this game, they should have ran away with this one. We dropped at least 2 touchdowns in this game. Davante Adams, guy, you are fine, man. Now, I don't want angry faces for Davante Adams. I want you guys to pump him up right now because he's going to come back. He's going to be fine. He made a couple big catches, but he dropped a couple touchdowns. But Davante Adams, he needs support right now. He's got to keep his confidence. This guy is beating everyone who matches up with him. And he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. Because what you saw Davante Adams do is the part he didn't do that great receivers do is make the catch. But the part he did do is come late with his hands so that the defender had no chance at that ball. This combination between Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams is not going away. I know a few people out there have a heart for me on that one. This combination between Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers is not going away. Once again, add that to the three-headed monster. And again, defensive coordinators, I hope you're getting a good night's sleep. You might want to take Aaron Rodgers' advice and have a little scotch. Yeah. Do I got any love for Kristen Michael? 4 carries, 45 yards, but a touchdown on a 42-yard run. This is the guy that might be. You get him in 6. He is dangerous, man. His feet is getting pumped up. I'm starting to slow down a little bit on the video, so I'll back off for a second. But Kristen Michael, we wanted to see him turn it on. He didn't get in a huge amount, but Coach McCarthy said and echoed what I said this past week. Every week he is getting a few more carries. Every week he is making a little bit more of a difference. And guys, guess what? Without Kristen Michael's touchdown on the board, we don't win this game. So hats off to Kristen Michael. Cheers, brother. Welcome to Green Bay, and keep up the good work. Kristen Michael set a record yesterday. I don't know if any of you saw this. I'll post it after the show. Kristen Michael set a record for being the first guy to score 40-plus yard touchdowns for 2 teams in one season. And the Seattle Seahawks might be wishing they had their guy back right now. Obviously, they're doing fine with balls. Obviously, their record is still ahead of us right now. But we just freaking laid the smack on the Seahawks a couple weeks back. I know, I was there. Hey there to Garth. And this week, we took down the Chicago Bears. Now, we know none of these NFC North rivalry opponents are going to be a walk in the park. And Owen is asking, am I worried about Adams? No, guys, pump him up. That's what the team is going to do. This team has stuck together even when all of us were calling them out, saying they were not, good enough. They found a way to win. Davante Adams is going to come back. When Davante Adams gets his confidence back, just a minor setback. When Davante Adams gets his... Guys, he's beating everyone. You cannot single up Davante Adams and win the matchup, period. I mean, have you watching this guy? Obviously, you got to make the catch at the end, so he had an off day. But it's just an off day. We're going to need you, Davante, down the stretch. We're going to need you to run the table. Thank you, Aaron Rodgers, for that one. And I hope you're right. And Kathy says, Adams, no worries. That's right. We got to get behind this guy. Enough of us, and I was not one of them. There was one time where I was off the Davante Adams bandwagon, and that was the first game of the season because I had been saying this, and I will continue to say it. You cannot give up on a guy who has the skill set that Davante Adams has. Tyron's calling him Baby Megatron. That is not a bad moniker, my friend. Not bad at all. The guy is beating everyone in front of him. He just needed experience, needed to get confident, and there was too much loaded on him last year as if he was going to come in. Aaron Rodgers said he could be a Pro Bowler. Well, frankly, Aaron Rodgers was right, but the pressure got to him last year. Not this year. Not this year. And Gary's saying Jordy was the man. Jordy with a couple drops as well, so if you're going to give some crap to Davante Adams right now, Jordy Nelson had a couple he should have had as well in this game. Big one. But of course, does anybody have... the one that mattered, is there one catch that mattered from Jordy Nelson that will be remembered for a long time, that will hit the highlights reel? Anybody got some love for Jordy Nelson? And making the catch that gave us the shot to simply clock the ball. Thank goodness we didn't have a 10-second runoff at that point. Clock the ball, and for Mason Crosby, skadoosh, to nail the game-winning field goal. Guys, this was traditional football again. This was bad weather football. This was mean football. This was painful football. This was a running game. And the Green Bay Packers... we had a running back with 162 yards. I said this was the game that we were going to need the running game to break out. And to the tune of 200 plus yards, they did that. Nelson, 7 receptions for 124 yards and a long of 60. Long of 60. I think we all remember that pass. Yeah, I had to do a mic drop, Keith. Now, again, it goes back to the fact that this is an NFC North, this is a rivalry game, a team that knows us. John Fox has made a difference in the Bears organization. This is a team that we said they were better without Jay Cutler. We all knew that, guys. You guys all made the jokes. You made the cracks about Jay Cutler gets hurt, and then when he comes back, you guys are all making the crack. Hey, great, glad to have you back, Jay. Glad to have you back on our team. So this is a Bears team that is much better, we saw it, than their record. And the Packers got it done. And Aaron Rodgers was a hurting unit. But he went out there, he almost scored a touchdown on the ground. Tammy's saying that game was too close. Yeah, it was, but you know what? This is what you get. How about some love right now? We haven't said this yet, I don't think. Packers, Bears, all-time rivalry, 94-94 right now, I think. I think it was 93-94 coming into this game with 6 ties. Packers have not been tied with the Bears in this season since 1933. Anybody out there on a Monday morning, I know you're back to work, but does anybody feel good about that? Tony says a win is a win. I agree. Tim says tied up, baby. This is a Packer team that has something to say, definitely in the NFC. Now, we had our marquee game against the Seahawks. Michael loves December football, and so do the Green Bay Packers. They are turning it on at the right time. We need to continue to get healthy. Obviously, There's two guys that I want to see continue to get ahead of their injuries, and those are obviously Aaron Rodgers and Clay Matthews. I want to see Clay Matthews make more of a difference down the stretch. So he's going to have to get healthy to do that. We still have William on saying the squirrel was the MVP. I think Jordy Nelson had a little bit of the squirrel spirit. A little bit of the squirrel spirit. And Ryan says nobody's hating on the coaches now, and Ted Thompson. Now, I did mention this, okay, and I have thought about this, so you guys can emoji me your response, right? We talked about this several weeks ago because I talked to my cousin in Madison, and he made this point. So I got to give Jeff credit. Jeff, not just kitchens, Madison, if you need some remodeling done, that's the place to go. He does excellent work. I've seen it. But Jeff said, hey, listen, if we bounce back in this season, the problem that could arise is that we can sort of sweep all the problems that we do have under the carpet. I've got this feeling, though. I got a feeling that this Packers team, however far we go this season, we don't know yet, that however far we go, that this team is going, I think we're going to make some moves in this offseason. I've got a feeling. Of course, we got the Eddie Lacy thing to figure out. Hey there, Lee from Colorado. Good to see a beautiful state, gorgeous state. But I think I have this feeling that I just feel like we're going to have a great draft. I feel like we're going to fill a few holes. I feel like we're going to find the stuff. I don't know what it is. I mean, I can't put my finger on it. There's nothing scientific about it. But I don't feel like this team is going to sweep the problems that they had this year under the carpet. Even if I don't really want to say it just yet. But some folks out there this Monday morning, you can give me a heart right now if you have a feeling that it's December football, this team could go a ways. We could keep going for a while because we're getting a running game and Aaron Rodgers is getting healthier. The defense has to get healthy. The defense is doing enough. Some of the young guys are coming on. What else can I put air quotes on? Guys, we still have to focus on one game at a time, without a doubt. Oh, Oscar, thank you so much for your comment. Does anybody have some love for Clinton Dix with 2 picks? I just like doing the air quotes. I don't know what it is. 2 picks in this game. Because, listen, last week I sat there after the Seahawks game and I said I was totally surprised that of all the people that got interceptions in that game, 5 of them, and a fumble, that Clinton Dix, yeah, when I called him out, I was like, man, I want to see you get yours because we know Clinton Dix is waiting for his chance. And he goes out there and freaking, this guy, when it counts, I love our safety tandem. Tommy says looking like a Pro Bowler. Absolutely. Sean called him Woodson Jr. My son made that same comment. It looks a lot. That 21 looks good on you. Give me a heart right now if you think that 2-1 looks pretty good on a guy named Clinton Dix. Oh, I loved Woodson out there. I'm glad you're retired because you weren't playing for the Packers. And can't wait. And I can't wait to see your decision on who you want to go into the Hall of Fame with, my friend, because Charles Woodson was one heck of a player. But Clinton Dix is carrying the mantle quite well right now. Quite well. And Ray says he was calling for the picks all game. They came at the right time. Yeah. Ray, were you calling it in Fire Fan? My son got 2 turnovers right in Fire Fan, which is worth like 35 points. Get on and play with me. If you haven't played, the game is Fire Fan. The promo code is Get the Ring because we are playing for this trophy to take right off my hands. And the league is Packer Nation, but you have to look for the Packer Nation that has our GPN logo in black and yellow. Yeah, we have a new Nick Collins almost. I don't know. I think Morgan Burnett is maybe more of the Nick Collins type. I don't know. I just like it that we have this great safety tandem right now. It's a great thing to see. Can I get any love for Julius Peppers with a strip sack recovering the fumble that he caused? You know, we said, Julius Peppers, we're going to need you in this game. And he came up. Wade is asking my favorite Packer of all time. If you watch this, and I'm going to try this week to see if I can get him on Fire Fan with me. Leroy Butler, honestly, is my favorite Packer of all time. Creator of the Lambeau Leap, which is the best celebration that has ever been. Played with Reggie White, with Brett Favre. He, had great notoriety, Pro Bowls. But I wore the same number, which is obviously random, but you kind of feel endeared to the guy. And on top of that, he's a character. He's a good guy, it seems. I don't know him. Leroy, I'd love to meet you sometime. I'm going to hit you up for playing Fire Fan. I also hit up Jermichael Finley to play Fire Fan. I didn't see him on. I think maybe next week. We'll see. LB is saying, give Micah Hyde some love. Micah had a good game. How about Micah Hyde with the interception in the end zone right before the half? Important play. Tom says Leroy's on the cruise. Well, yeah. You sent me the info. I didn't have to look too close. I had to look at the price tag. That's all I looked at. It's snow on the ground here in Tennessee. It's one of those tender Tennessee Christmases, I guess. I would love to be on that cruise. But I'm not. Maybe next year. Feel free to donate, and I will, go live on the cruise with all those players. Actually, that would be a lot of fun. GoFundMe for no reason other than to see me hanging out with a bunch of Packer players. Yeah, maybe next year. We'll see. But I am going to get in contact with Leroy this week, hopefully, and see if he wants to play on our Fire Fan League. I would love to see him on there. That would be great. All right, Chris is making a bold prediction right now, and I cannot shy away from this one because it's bold. And if you watch this show, that I love bold predictions. Chris Prada, right now, give him a heart if you agree. He says we're going all the way to Houston. I know there's some hearts out there for that one right now. Now, and I also know as fans, we can talk about this. As players, we know that the team is focusing on one game at a time. We understand that. LB, loving it, man. LB, all right. I know there's some love out there for this as well, because how about the Vikings getting absolutely trounced this week with Adrian Peterson coming back and making zero impact, zero difference, and they get, 42 to... I got to look this one up. I can't remember off that. I want to get this right, guys. Okay, so Detroit went down to the Giants 17-6, could only muster 6 points in that game. Minnesota gets trounced by Indianapolis. I know we lost to Indianapolis too. 34-6. AD didn't make a difference, and we have got the bold prediction that Ty Montgomery will have more rushing yards come Saturday than Adrian Peterson. Ho, friggin' ho. Would that not? And the fact of the matter is, I see it happening. I see it playing. I see, the strength of the Packers' defenses against the run. I know we gave up some run. We gave up 60 plus or whatever in this one. But Ty Montgomery, a converted wide receiver, Jennifer can believe it, with more rushing yards than Adrian Peterson. Now, the team needs to focus. This is, again, another rivalry game. This is a team that beat us early in the season. We've got 2 of those coming up. We're gonna take these guys seriously. We know this is a professional team. Kent, good to see you. I read the comment and then I missed it. My bad. Write it again if you want. I may see it because I wanted to comment on it, whatever it was. These things move by really fast. So, I don't think my brain, maybe it's because it's Monday. I mean, I got my coffee, but maybe it's because it's Monday. All I want for Christmas. Josh, all I want for Christmas is 51. And Josh, I'm going to say this because I've said this many times. I don't think I've said it on this show yet. But there's two things I want to say about the Green Bay Packers. One is we own the X1 Super Bowls. And I want so bad to see us continue. Super Bowl 1, Super Bowl 31, Super Bowl 51. Would that not be one of the coolest things ever? I would have loved to see the Packers last year. I thought we had a chance. The offense stumbled, but Super Bowl 50, I think the Packers against the Chiefs would have been the best Super Bowl ever. Phil is here. Philip, I did not see your comment quite in time. But I think the Packers own the ones. Super Bowl 1, Super Bowl 31, Super Bowl 51, I hope. Because you've got to have 3 before you can really call it a trend, I think. And historically, just imagine that kind of trend. It's still a bold prediction. We still have to take one game at a time. There's still teams out there that I know we would have to struggle against, right? But would it not be sweet? The other trend that I want to see is Packers went down to Arlington in Dallas's brand new stadium and and Dallas Cowboys fans had to watch the Packers against the Steelers, which is just the best combination I can ever think of for Cowboys fans to have to watch. And the Packers beat the Steelers, but they do it in the Cowboys brand new stadium. 2018, we got to do this again. 2018, because the Vikings brand new. Philip, huh? You've been there. Me and you got to catch up one of these days, buddy. I want to get up there, watch a game with you down there. We got to make that happen. But the Packers need to win the Super Bowl in 2018. What is that, 53-ish, I guess? In the Vikings brand new stadium. How awesome would that be? Guys, we got some trends to continue. Worst Vikings choice yesterday, Philip says, watch the second half or go outside in minus 20 degrees. Yeah. I think playing in the snow would have been more fun than watching the Vikings in the second half of that game. Of course, the Packers gave up some points in the second half as well, especially that fourth quarter. I believe I went back but I haven't seen the fourth quarter all over again. So I didn't analyze it, so I'm not going to comment just yet. But guys, as was mentioned earlier, a win is a win, 30-27. All right. Yes, we gave up too many points. But again, I'm going to say this. I said it all last week. This was not going to be a breeze of a win. I thought our offense was going to do just about as well as they did. I was 5 points off. I thought our defense was going to hold the Bears better because they were only averaging 17 points a game, but they've been coming on strong, and they got some points. They got some points on the board against us. LB says Randall needs to learn to play 60. Well, yeah, we need. He's another guy that needs to continue to get healthy. So we've got a defense that is still banged up. There is no rest in sight. There's no 2-week break until we get, knock on wood, to where we want to be. We won't get that kind of rest. If we can find a way, look at the way that, now guys, think about how badly banged up, especially the offensive line was last year against the Cardinals, and we still could have won that game. I think the football gods owe us one this year because they got it wrong last year. Look at what, the Packer team last year would have put on a better showing in the NFC Championship than those freaking Arizona Cardinals did. They showed who they were this year by absolutely imploding. And Andrea saying, hope Aaron Rodgers can make it through all the games. Is he not? And we deserve some love for Aaron Rodgers too right now. He didn't have a touchdown through the air, but he made the pass that made the difference with him and Jordy Nelson so that Crosby could make the kick that won the game. And the guy's a warrior. I think he's going to make it through all the games. This is one of those, he's just got to be careful. And we have seen that Aaron Rodgers does what it takes to give this team a win, without a doubt. You just got to give credit to the guy. He's got, a right calf, a left hammy, whatever the combination is. This is not a good combination for a quarterback who a lot of times, Andrea's given much love, who a lot of times, Aaron Rodgers gets us first downs with his feet. We saw it. He didn't have the escapability that he usually has. And it's going to be tough for him to get ahead of this injury. But he bought himself another week. And he said that he didn't have suffer a setback. So that's good news. A lot of love for Aaron Rodgers right now. All right. Let's see how this, Joe Pepitone, whatever the ref is, who punched the freaking field goal pad, got himself all hyped up, and then, to be quite honest, did not have a fantastic game. I don't think the reffing crew was outstanding, as they made him out to be like a world beater of a ref out there in his crew. But okay, we get some angry faces for the refs, I'm sure. Jermaine's got Rodgers as the MVP. Peter Vargas has Packers versus the Steelers in Super Bowl. Now, this is one. I got a really good friend who is a Steelers fan. There's tons of Steelers fans around where I'm at. And I said early in this year it would be a great matchup. I would not mind at all the Steelers to find a way to get it done. They've had their setbacks for sure this year. But the most important thing is for the Packers to get there and to win, no matter who they're playing against. And Tom is making a decent point. We're not, and I love this comment actually, Tom, so I appreciate it. We are not doing the relax thing anymore. We are running the table. No more freaking relaxing. It's time to get out there, put your foot on the gas, and play the game. Nicely said. All right. Let's see, what else? Mike Daniels, he, 2 tackles and 1 assist, but Mike Daniels continues to be a force to be reckoned with. I love that cat, man. I'd like to meet Mike Daniels. I'd like to arm wrestle Mike Daniels. Oh, gosh. That would be such a joke. But James is saying, play that smash mouth ball. And that's, Mike Daniels is the guy that's kind of bringing that to the Packer defense. Now, obviously, we gave up too many points. We had a fourth quarter in which we just flat out gave up too many points. Several people are mentioning the Hyde deflection when you break on the ball, and we had the same thing last week. When you break on the ball, you better get your hand on the ball. Micah Hyde with a huge deflection, so props to Micah Hyde. And I think it's been mentioned more times, 2 or 3 times. So let's take the time, because I think we should. I agree. Thank you for the comment. To lay some hearts on the screen right now for Micah Hyde. Not only the interception right before the half, that was in the end zone, folks, but also the big knockaway, pass defensed. Tim Rice says Julius Peppers is getting better. Daniels, the muscle of the defense. And John says, Hyde today, no Jekyll. I like that comment. Well put. Other than you didn't capitalize the J, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I'm kidding. Nicely done. This is funny. I'm just reading the comments now. Kevin says, somebody better call the fire department because your stuff is on fire. Kent is... Oh, thank you. Because I haven't mentioned it yet, but I did mention it before the game. That Jared Cook, one tight end named Jared Cook, was going to have something to say in this game. Jared Cook, any love for Jared Cook out there? This has become like the all-comment show. Bryce is saying Rodgers to Cook, love it. Hope Cook can continue to stay healthy. Agreed. He's gonna be a player down the line. He's making a difference already. And James is saying, I see why they were keeping Peppers on a pitch count. I said this from the beginning. I said this from training camp when they were talking about this. Julius Peppers, they're keeping him fresh, but it's more than just keeping him fresh. There's another aspect, another dimension to Julius Peppers. Not only is he fresh because they've kept him on a pitch count, but Julius Peppers, he knows how to turn it on when the playoffs come around. And now, of course, because of the injuries, we've had to bring him out in December football. They were saving Julius Peppers because not just because he would be fresh and his legs would be a little healthier, but because they knew and I got to give myself props from time to time, but I've been saying this since training camp. Rick Motti, if you're out there, I talked to you about this on the phone, that Julius Peppers knows how to turn it on when it matters. And at the time, I said, the playoffs time is when it matters. Because I thought we would kind of roll into the playoffs, to be honest, the way this team was put together. Didn't happen that way. Defense was decimated with injuries. So Julius Peppers comes on in December and is starting to make a difference. So let's put some love for Julius Peppers out there right now. And Ryan Pugh, thank you. I'm going to wait because we got some hearts coming across for Julius Peppers right now. Some thumbs up, some love, because we got somebody else we need to put some love on, because this was a guy everyone in Packer Nation was afraid would see the field before the season began. And he became that sort of Frank Zombo, kind of no name, not so sure about him, but making a difference from time to time. How about, as you're finishing up your hearts for Julius Peppers, I got another guy. Thank you so much for the comment. Joe Thomas knocking the C off the helmet with an absolutely battering blow. This looked like a black and blue division hit. I mean, frankly, it's been a long time, but it was almost like a Ray Nitschke kind of thing. If Joe Thomas lost a few teeth, but this is a guy we were all afraid was going to stay on our team in training camp. And he knocks the freaking logo off the helmet with a hit. Yikes. Way to go, Joe. Way to go. This is not a guy that I gotta say, I was one of them. I was afraid, that I was glad we drafted Blake Martinez. But now I'm glad that we've got Joe Thomas. We're not putting him out there in the passing downs that much. But for crying out loud. And Willen says, this is a great comment, knocked the toilet seat off his helmet. That gives me, when you make comments like that, it gives me ideas. Like having all of my toilet seats redone in blue and orange and slightly reshaped. I think I could buy new toilet seats. I could get my router out. I have an idea. I think that this may come about in the Augustine household. Chicago Bears C toilets. So I can sit on them, but then I have to put a TV in the bathroom so I can watch the Packers beat the Bears. Love it. Great comment. That was awesome, actually. Matthews was in a little bit. Yeah, he's hopefully can continue to get healthy. They mentioned during the game that Matthews sustained a third-degree separation. That is basically one. It's just shy of basically ripping your rotator cuff to pieces. I looked at these a long time ago, so I don't remember real well. And obviously, I'm no doctor. I just play one on live Facebook TV. But that's a bad separation. And it's no wonder. I still suffer from one. It's no wonder Clay Matthews hasn't been himself. He came on in the Seahawks game. And if he can get a little bit ahead of this injury, this is one of the games I said, we can barely stand it, but we can stand to let some guys get healthy in this game. If there's any game that we could withstand and keep a guy like Clay Matthews off the field a little bit more, let him get a chance to get healthy. This was the only game we had because we can't, the way the Vikings played, maybe the Vikings are softer than the Bears. The Bears played a good game against us. So we'll see moving forward, but I think Clay Matthews is going to get a little bit healthier, just like Aaron Rodgers, a little bit healthier. However, I don't think either one of them is going to be 100% for the rest of the year. I mean, maybe if we, knock on wood, if we get a couple weeks in between, and LB is mentioning, and I've got to give credit to, because, you know, I don't think he even, well, let's take a look here, my man. All right, absolutely unresponsive internet right now. But Randall Cobb went into this game with the ankle injury, I believe, and he's a warrior, and he's tough as nails. And it was mentioned by the coaching staff, I don't think it was Mike McCarthy, but after the game, just about the fact that Randall Cobb continues to play and continues to set the bar for the young wide receivers on this group, because he's just a warrior. You know, in a game like this, it would be easy to be down on Randall Cobb. But I'm not, because the guy is out there playing hurt. He's peeling defensive men away from Davante Adams. He's doing whatever he can out there. And hopefully he gets healthy, because he just bought himself another week as well. Hopefully, if he didn't, you know, tweak anything, and I don't think he did. So Randall Cobb is a warrior. He has shown it over and over again. Last season, he had the shoulder separation last season. I don't frankly know how you play the wide receiver position with a shoulder separation. But Randall did it. And I hope you get healthy, buddy, because we're going to need you. We're going to need you. Yeah, I would add him to the list. You talk about if Aaron Rodgers could get healthy, Clay Matthews could get healthy, and Randall Cobb can get healthy, this becomes a very, very scary team for a lot of people. So Richard is making a good point. Vikings can't play in the element. How about the Vikings having to come to Lambeau Field? Let's see what the weather brings to Lambeau Field next week, or this week, actually. Yikes. Guys, I think it was Christmas Eve last year that we played the Arizona Cardinals. We laid a friggin' egg. We got the cuss kicked out of us. How about we turn that around this year? We've got to. We need to. Packers looking forward. Packers need to drill the Vikings to the wall. We need to take these guys down. They are down. We need to put our foot on their throat. We need to take them early and often. We need to see Randall Cobb in the end zone, Jordy Nelson in the end zone, Davante Adams in the end zone, Ty Montgomery in the end zone, Christian Michael in the end zone, Aaron Rodgers in the end zone, Julius Peppers in the end zone with a pick six, Clay Matthews in the end zone with a fumble recovered. Maybe Clay Matthews can strip Adrian Peterson and run it back for a touchdown. And Josh was mentioning, hey, listen, guys, these guys came back from a big-time losing streak. Aaron Ripkowski in the end zone, Mark. Ripcow! I like that. I actually like that. Ripcow. That's kind of cool. That might be yellable. We need to find something for Ripkowski that is screamable in the stadium. That's the most important thing. Yeah, pedal to the metal, DM. And Philip is mentioning, you know, this is the part that kind of makes me laugh is how much effort, energy, and money the Vikings spent on their offensive line and how little their return they're getting. And we just need to bring it early and often. Bradford's no Andrew Luck. Back when we were playing the Colts, we said we just need to bring it early and often. A weak offensive line, let's just get it done. This time we need to get home. And the Vikings are vulnerable. We need to put our foot on the gas. And we need to, we need to start fast. We need to score each of the 4 quarters, and we need to not give up the points that we did against the Chicago Bears. Saturday's a game, all right, yep. And Tom's got the spotted cow reference, which is good luck, I think, at this point. There needs to be one Spotted Cow reference on every live show. Roger says their stadium is up for sale. Really? It's a pretty stadium. All right, folks, well, the Packers got the win. That's the most important thing. The next most important thing, actually the most important thing now, changes over very quickly, even though it's Monday, to Packers need to get a win against the Vikings. We need to stop the running game first. This is what every team, every defensive coordinator goes into every game with the same idea. But I think the Packers' strength lies in that aspect of the game. I think Mike Daniels is ready to have just a blowout game. I think Aaron Rodgers gets healthy. I think Clay Matthews gets a little bit healthier. I think Randall Cobb gets a little bit healthier. We can't afford to give up the points we did late in games the way we did. The Packers need to get out on the field and continue this run. It has been something to see, folks. I think we'll close the show with this. Can I get a heart out there for a turnaround? A real turnaround. This is not a perfect team. No team out there. This is, every team is injured. No team is perfect. But what that means is Packers are proving themselves to have as much of a shot as anybody out there right now. And Saturday, we find out, once again, 1 week at a time, what this team is made of. And right now, we got a lot of people banged up. But Aaron Rodgers and company are playing good ball. We got to give some love to Ty Montgomery, a guy that just, the description I've given of Ty Montgomery from the very beginning is he is the most fluid athlete I have seen in a long time. Not quite as sudden as a Randall Cobb. So he moves a little more north and south than Randall Cobb would, but at 220 pounds. And now you're seeing not only does he have a great stiff arm because of his strength, he's underrated in strength, but he has incredible balance. This guy runs differently than anybody in the league right now. He's a different kind of runner than anybody out there. And he's making a difference. And then you add to that, Kristen Michael kind of turned it on with a 40-plus yard touchdown run. And everybody is asking if the game is Saturday. Yeah, it's Saturday this time around. It's very strange, but it's Christmas Eve. And Tammy says, all I want for Christmas, Tammy could leave her 2 front teeth behind for a Packer win right now. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to let you go. I mean, it's Monday. This is one of those games that, as far as Packers-Bears rivalry game goes, honestly, if we had not won this game, we'd all be just absolutely devastated. The fact of the matter is we won this game. And this was, if you were going to say there was a game that tied the series up after 80-plus years, honestly, this is the kind of game that it feels right. It feels like it should have been this kind of game. Megan is here. We got it done. The Bears still suck. Well, the Bears played a great game too. I think this game did justice to the rivalry of the Packers versus the Bears. And the Packers getting it done did justice to this season and was deserved. And I will let it go at that. All right? You guys have a great day. I'm going to be back. Same pack time, same pack place tomorrow. And if you haven't gotten on our Fire Fan League, it's called Packer Nation. The promo code that you put in is Get the Ring because you are playing for our trophy. This nice, heavy from Thayer's Jewelry in Mauston, Wisconsin. Somebody's going to pry this off my cold dead hands. Great job yesterday, guys. I know Virginia was there. Dustin topped the leaderboard and just absolutely trounced everybody. I think you cheated. I am going to hunt you down this week. I am going to top the leaderboard. Number 1, baby. This time out. All right, everybody. We will see you again tomorrow. We're going to talk more about this big game coming up against the Vikings that the Packers need to win still. We got one down and one to go. That's how we're going to see it from here on out. You guys have a great Monday. Victory Monday. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Go Pack.